This is homework set 4, a continuation of arithmetic with real numbers, multiplication, division. And now we'll look at questions 11 through 16. In question 11, we've got some multiplications, subtractions, grouping symbols. Let's work inside this set of grouping symbols first, and then we'll work inside of this one. So I'm going to rewrite -3. Now, what's inside this grouping symbol? Here's what I've got. 6 minus 8. I've got 6. I lose 8, so I'm down 2. So this is -2 minus 5. Now 3 minus 10. I'm down 3. I lose 10, so I'm down 7. Now let's just move on here. -3 times -2 is +6. And I'm going to think of it this way. -5 times -7 is +35. And 6 and 35, that is a 41. Looks like we have a lot going on here in number 12. Let's see. I've got this set of grouping symbols here, this square bracket. Well, that whole thing is a grouping symbol. But inside that grouping symbol, I've got these parentheses. So let's work here first. I'll do that one first, this one second, and then I'll do this one third. So let's just rewrite. I'll get 1 minus 2 times. Okay, I see a -4. Now, what is this? What is inside here? -6 minus 4. So I'm down 6. I lose 4. That's a -10, so I'm down 10. And then what about over here? I've got a +4 and -4 minus 5. So I'm down 4. I lose 5 more, so altogether I'm down 9 now. Okay, and close the bracket. Now I'm working in here, so let's make this multiplication. So rewrite 1 minus 2 times, here's what's going in that bracket now, -4 times -10 is +40. And then +4 times -9 is -36. Okay, we're close. I can still do a little bit inside that bracket. 1 minus 2. Now, 40 minus 36 is a 4. All right, I've got a subtraction and a multiplication. Let's do the multiplication first. I'm going to think of it this way. 1 and then -2 times 4. -8. And then 1 minus 8 is -7. Well, we've got a division here. So what are we going to have here? I got an 8 on the top. That's pretty clear. So I've got an 8 on the top. And in the bottom, what have we got? 4 minus 8. Now, really, what this is, it is -4. I can write -4. But if you want to go back to the definition, you have 4 minus 8 is really 4. Change subtraction to addition of the opposite. Now, the opposite of that 8 is -8. Then you're adding two numbers with opposite signs, so a subtraction. 8 minus 4, larger minus smaller, absolute value. 8 minus 4 is 4, use the sign of the larger absolute value. Or just, you have 4 things, you lose 8, you're down 4. Now, positive number divided by negative number is negative. So I'm going to get -8 divided by 4 is 2. So -2. Well, let's read through this 14. It says, the following problem involves more than one operation. Yeah, I can see I've got an addition, subtraction, division. All right. Simplify as much as possible and match each expression with its simplified form. Well, it looks like if I get one, I'll get the other. So let's take a look at this one here first, this top one. I'm going to rewrite it here. It is 17 plus 15 over 3 times 5 minus 15. Now in the top, the numerator here, 17 plus 15, that's 32. And in the denominator, the bottom, 3 times 5 is 15, so I'm going to get 15. And then minus 15. Oh, do you see what's happening here already? You get 32 over 15 minus 15 is 0. Now what I've got is a non-zero. Okay, I'm going to write this here. What I've got is a non-zero divided by a 0, and that is undefined. All right, so this one is undefined. Now here's the second one. Second one is 3 times 5, minus 15. Okay, all they've done is just switch them. See what they did? Top, bottom, bottom, top. Okay, over, now this is 17 plus 15. So we're going to get, if we just started it all over, it's going to be 3 times 5 is 15 minus 15. All right, so I get 0 on the top. Do you see it? 3 times 5 is 15, minus 15 is 0. Okay, and in the denominator, I've got 17 plus 15 is 32. Now what I've got is 0 over non-zero, and that is a 0. Okay, so I'm going to claim now that this one is just 0. We've got a fraction here in 15, so let's run the top separately and the bottom separately. So on the top, I'm going to get 20 times negative 4, and then I'm going to subtract 16 from that. So let's do that. So first up, 20 times negative 4. Positive times negative is negative, so I know I'm going to get a negative here. 4 times 20 is 80, so we'll get negative 80, and then minus 16. Then the top, over, now in the denominator, the bottom, 4 times negative 12. Positive times negative is negative. 4 times 12 is 48. And now, what about the top? I'm down 80, I lose 16. So 80 minus 16, the 80 plus 16 is 96, and it's going to be negative. So I get a negative 96 over negative 48. How convenient. Negative divided by negative is positive. 96 divided by 48 is 2. Question 16 has a fraction in it with some powers and addition subtraction. So let's do the top and the bottom separately. So what have we got in the top? I got 9 squared, and then I'm going to subtract 3 squared. Now 9 squared, 9 times 9 is 81, right? 9 times 9 minus 3 squared. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, I've got the top. Over, now in the denominator, negative 9 plus 3. You're adding two numbers with opposite signs, negative and positive. So what do? You make a subtraction. Take the larger absolute value, 9, minus the smaller absolute value, 3. So 9 minus 3 is 6. And then use the sign. What sign do we use? The sign of the larger absolute value. Now this absolute value is 9. This one's only 3. So this is a larger absolute value. It has a negative. So this is going to be negative 6. Then, on the top, 81 minus 9. That is a 72 divided by negative 6. Now the first thing I see right away is I've got a positive divided by a negative. I've got an odd number of negative signs, so this is going to be negative. Now, 6 will go into 7 one time with 1 left over. Bring down the 2, that's a 12. 6 going to 12 twice. So I think that's going to be a negative 12. And that's the end of questions 11 through 16 in homework set 4.